Hello, my name is Vanessa Ajiman. I am the founder and creative director of Copper Dust. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our socials, it's Copper Dust LDN, and of course, subscribe. So, today I want to talk about lighting in your hallway. I feel like the hallway is sometimes neglected and often forgotten. I guess we don't spend as much time in the hallway, so it's almost like a passing element, but it's so important to include that in your scheme of when you're designing for your home. So I just want to talk about ideas in terms of lighting your hallway, because lighting is a fundamental point, especially in the UK. We have a lot of grey undertones for lighting, so it's really important to just really think about how you're going to light your hallway, whether it's ambient, whether it's soft, because there's no one size fits all for your hallway. It's best to work with a combination of lighting, or to really consider what areas you want to highlight in the hallway. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. The first piece of lighting that I really want to talk about is ambient lighting, which is sometimes referred to as mood lighting. So this is what you consider to be the overall lighting of the space. This creates a natural glow. It creates that effect almost similar to natural light, so it's very, very popular to have within the home and especially within the hallway. So with ambient lighting, the first things to consider is what type of lighting will create that effect for me. So you can get this through chandeliers, track lighting, recessed lights, and pendant lights. So each of these more or less do the same job, but it just depends on the style of your hallway. So for example, if you've got high ceilings and you want to create ambient lighting, then you need to go for chandeliers, because you've got the height, you create that focal point, and get that soft glow similar to natural light. If you don't so much as have that space, then I would recommend for lower ceilings pendant lights. So that could be a slight drop, or it can be flush to the ceiling, and then you still create that same effect. So definitely consider your space that you're working with in order to create that effect. Lighting that I want to talk about is task lighting. Now, task lighting often means it's used for a specific task. It provides more focused lighting where you do things like reading, writing, cooking, those type of things. So if you're lucky enough to have a larger hallway and you've got like a footstool or a console table, this is where you start to include task lighting. So task lighting kind of around mirrors is a great way. So just before you check yourself to leave your home is a great way to put task lighting. On top of your console table, if you just want to write a quick note, is a good way as well. So in terms of task lighting, the type of lighting you should be looking at is table lamps, floor lamps, desk lamps, under cabinet lighting, that is a game changer, that is really helpful, and vanity lights. So all of those will create that task lighting kind of honed in on a specific object. The third type of lighting is what is known as feature accent lighting. Now, accent lighting is what I like to call the cherry on top when it comes to lighting design. It's the third layer that completes the overall look of the space. It can provide a dramatic composition, especially when placed in light-specific areas. Now, accent lighting is naturally decorative in nature. It is kind of the final piece to the jigsaw puzzle, to say. So it highlights architectural features within the interior. So this can be wall scones, that's really nice, especially if you've got a piece of artwork that you want to highlight, that's always a game changer. Directed track lighting is a really good one. Or you've got another one called wall wash lighting, where kind of like gives a glow to the wall, is also a game changer. So all of these small details can help you really to execute and achieve that look that you're going for. Another really important thing to consider, which I mentioned earlier, is the direction of your hallway. Now, when I talk about the direction of the hallway, I mean as in, is your home north facing, south facing, east or west? Now, the reason why I ask this is very important, because that will dictate the amount of light that comes into your hallway. So if you find that your hallway is naturally quite dark and it casts a lot of shadows, 9 times out of 10 you'll have a north facing hallway. if you find actually has floods of natural light, it gets a lot of sun throughout the day, then you'll find it has maybe a south facing direction. And anywhere in between that is either east or west. So what you want to do is, if you have a north facing hallway, or if you find your hallway is quite dark and dingy, the color of light coming through is very, very cool. So you need a warm tone of light to just warm up that space and add a bit of vibrancy. So you need to start thinking of yellows, softer red undertones that would really kind of warm up that space. If you've got a south facing hallway, so that is the opposite, which has floods of natural light, you need to think about softer, paler colors to break up that sunlight, to really soften that light coming through. And that really creates a balance in the hallway, so that's also really important to consider. And then another thing in terms that I really want to get into, in terms of the hallway as a whole, as you don't spend a lot of time in the hallway, that is where I always encourage people to be bold, to be vibrant, because you're not going to spend a lot of time there. And why don't you be playful? Why don't you introduce something interesting? I love to include like wallpaper features in a hallway, or a painted ceiling, or a two-tone ceiling. Something that just adds a bit more character, and that will be such a great way to finish your lighting look in your hallway. So you've got the beautiful range of lighting or whatever's suited. That could be task, that could be ambient, and then you've got this kind of nice imprint of color, or it can even be neutral tones. Just really create something different in that space. It's such a beautiful way to kind of execute and finish your hallway. So there you have it, a guide on how to choose the right lighting for your hallway. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is CopperDustLDN, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.